Assalamualaikum dear students, welcome to the Department of English, Government Postgraduate College Attock. In our previous lectures, we were discussing John Ashbery's melodic trains, and we would continue with our discussion of the text. The text reads, "These figures leaving the platform or waiting to board the train are my brothers," in a way that really wants to tell me why there is so little panic and disorder in the world and so much unhappiness. If I were to get down now to stretch, take a few steps in the varying and world weary clouds of steam like great white apples, might I just through proximity and apping of postures and attitudes communicate this concern of mine to them? In these lines, we again see that the poet is referring to this strange habit of human beings, that how soon we get panicked, how soon we try to get what we want, and we cannot wait, we cannot be patient. And as a result, even though there is this possibility that we might be able to get what we want, uh, but we cannot wait for that, and this makes us anxious, we get panicked, and this is the concern of the poet, that he cannot just imagine that why these people on the station, they are waiting to get taxi or to get to their homes, and they cannot just simply wait, they cannot simply be patient. They do not realize that sooner or later they would be able to get what they want, if only they might wait a little bit. But this wait, it is against the very nature of human beings. We have this strange kind of restlessness inside us that consistently makes us do things. It forces us to change our position time and again. If you have noticed that human beings, they cannot even sit at one place for a longer period of time. We consistently need to shift our position, we consistently have to do something one way or the other. We do one thing, then we do the other thing, and we consistently remain in a kind of panic, in a kind of restlessness. This inner peace that the poet is talking about, it appears as if we, the human beings, we cannot have that. Our inner nature, it forces us that we may always be on the move. We may always be doing one thing or the other. We may never rest. We may never have a sense of completion, a sense of satisfaction. And as I told you earlier, that human desire, it is also so overwhelming that it consistently keeps us on the move, and we may never be satisfied with the object of our desire. Once we have achieved it, we have to look for something new, we have to, after we got one thing, we start looking for something else because we believe that desire is always at a distance away from us. It is always moving away from us. And this is the reason that these passengers on the train who are boarding the train or who are um, leaving the station, they are always worried, they are panicked. Uh, Either they want to get on the train or they want to leave it and reach their homes. It consistently keeps them uh, in a very tense state of mind. And the poet, he has this desire that if only he can go and advise them that they should not try to be like that. And maybe if he cannot do that directly, if he cannot communicate this concern of him through words, he can convey that through his postures, through his gestures, and maybe those people, they would understand that what are they doing. Then he says that their jagged attitudes correspond to mine, that their beefing strikes answering silver bells within my own chest. It is not that the poet, he is from some other planet. He also belongs to the same mankind. He also has the same kind of habits, the same kind of routine, the same kind of desires and worries and tensions. And this is the reason that he feels that these people, whatever they are feeling, he can also share their concern, share their tensions. He can also feel their pain. And that I know, as they do, how the last stop is the most anxious one of all, though it means getting home at last to the pleasures and dissatisfactions of home. And the irony is, the poet says, that when we are moving towards some goal, when we are trying to achieve something, we consistently worry and panic because we want to reach that goal as soon as possible. Like if you are traveling in a train and you want to go to Lahore, you will consistently have this restlessness, have this panic that you may reach your destination as soon as possible. You believe that the moment you would reach your destination, it will bring calmness, a peacefulness of mind. But actually, it does not happen so. The irony is, the moment you reach home, the moment you reach your destination, that destination will have its own worries and dissatisfactions, and you would be engaged in them, and you will forget about the journey and the destination. It will bring with it its own problems and its own panics and its own tensions. In this way, what is the message here? The message is that the poet wants us to realize that whatever we do, whatever, however tense we might be, it is not that when we would reach our destination, that would be kind of fruitful for us. It will bring some kind of satisfaction for us. It will give us a sense of fulfillment. No, it won't happen this way, and it can't happen this way. every stage of the journey, every step of life, every phase of our careers, they have their own problems, they have their own worries. And once you reach there, you realize that the journey has not yet ended. It continues, and you have to move to somewhere else. And when you reach that point, you realize that no, this also was not your destination, and there is something else that you want to go, and it would go on and on and on. So, in these lines, if we have a brief overview of these, then again, desire and restlessness, it is one of the main themes of these lines, that the poet is again referring back to human desire, its nature, and the inner restlessness that it causes, and it always makes us want more and more, and without ever giving us a sense of fulfillment. The last stop, the last stop here again may be uh, the goal that we wanted to achieve, and in looking at it from another angle, it might also be death. That death, though the final stop, it might also bring with it its own worries and its own problems and its own frustrations. And another point is the end of desire. The desire, it never ends. It is in the nature of desire that it would never end. Whatever we do, whatever we uh, want to have, we will always be looking for something else after we have that. This is something that is that perhaps might be a kind of trait of our nature, a quality of our nature, and we might never be get rid of it. And there is no final solution, there is no final fulfillment. And this is the thing that those passengers do not realize. They think that after they came out of the station, now their next problem is the taxi, and if they would be able to get taxi, they will be able to go home, and then they would reach there, then all their problems would be solved. But would it happen like this? The answer is no. When they would reach home, the home will have their own problems. It will have their own worries and tensions and frustrations, and they would be engaged in them, not realizing that they thought that home would bring a peacefulness or a sense of fulfillment. So these were the lines for today that we discussed. In our next lecture, we will try to wrap up this poem and move on to the next one. Till then, take care.